Kev G with a weather overview. And this is from NOAA. Like them on Facebook and Twitter. This is a really good breakdown, region by region, of what you can expect, the timing, the hazards. So pause your video right now if you want to get a look, or like them on Facebook and Twitter. This is our NOAA website, the one out of Upton, New York. And get ready. We have a pretty significant winter storm. And not to be overlooked in any way, shape, or form should be the ferocious, and I mean ferocious cold that is coming for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you think that we've been cold this week, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen the worst of it yet, and it's a scary thought. The fact that we're going to have 2 or 3 days in a row where we're not going to get above 20 degrees Fahrenheit starting on Friday, and the wind chills are going to be sub-zero much of the time. I think in the outlying areas it will go below zero very easily at night, and due to the fact that a lot of the region is going to be snow covered, that should be no problem whatsoever. So we're going to have very strong winds for a couple of days. Once this storm is by us, we're not going to be losing the wind right away. I think much of Friday is going to be very windy, and we're going to see those dangerous wind chills start to take hold. So don't lose sight of the fact, yes, everybody's going to be got the snow goggles on, including me. I'm very happy that we're going to get this. But man alive, we've got some cold weather coming for the weekend, and dangerous cold at that. So if you can prepare now to kind of hunker down, normally I wouldn't say that. Normally I kind of laugh when people say, well, you got to go out and shop and everything. But in this situation, this is going to be a situation where you're going to have this snowstorm tomorrow. And then you're going to be out in the cold on Friday and Saturday shopping around. I mean, you just get all of it done if you can today, because the next few days are just going to be miserable. I will say that I think that this is going to be the last substantial snow of the month. And why is that? Well, Weatherbell Analytics, which is a forecasting company, they've been touting a January thaw, a very substantial January thaw, and that is now showing up in the long-range guidance. So I think that once we're out of this week, I think we're going to flip the script on January in a major way, and I'll show you that in the extended. So let's take a look at the Penn State eWall site. This is our developing, very, very strong winter storm. This is going to have a barometric pressure in the center of the storm, which is going to be comparable to a mature hurricane, and that's why we're going to see near blizzard conditions, I think, out on Long Island tomorrow, because areas near the coast will see winds over 40 miles an hour with the blowing snow at the same time. So you can see all the clouds gathering off the Florida coast. That's where the storm is right now. These are thunderstorm clouds. This is real thunderstorms going off, and this thing is going to absolutely explode and rocket up the eastern seaboard. I'm making this recording around 11 o'clock in the morning. I think by about 30 hours from now, this storm will be up in the Gulf of Maine, and that is impressive. It is going to shoot like a rocket up the eastern seaboard, and with that, we are going to get into some pretty heavy snow. For the morning commute Thursday, if you don't have to travel into work, just don't do it, especially for New York City and points east. I think north and west, you get lighter snows, but travel in the metro region, the Maine metropolitan area, as well as Long Island and southern Connecticut, is going to be awful tomorrow. Try not to do it if you can avoid it. So this is, I was watching Joe Chaffee this morning on YouTube, and he had a presentation of what the radar was going to look like and the satellite picture. So I really like that. So this one's inspired by the great Joe Chaffee. So we're going to take a look at what the radar should look like during the height of this storm. And we'll also look at some of the strong winds with it too. So here we are. Snow should get going a little bit after, I would say between 12 and 2 a.m., but very light variety. And then as we go through time, this is off the 3-kilometer NAM model, the snow gets heavy starting around, I would say, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's when the snow gets heavy on the coast, and you can see that this storm is really wrapped up. It looks like a mature cyclone, and by this point now, we're out to about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and snow should be heavy at times along the coast, and lighter snow accumulation inland. But still, now the winds are going to be ramping up by this point in time. And so here we are by about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the low center is now up near Cape Cod, and the snow starts to wind down. But still a very healthy cyclone, very mature cyclone, strong, strong winter storm as it pulls away. And we get into these strong, potentially damaging winds along the coast for a time anyway. So here's what I did with the snowfall. Basically, from yesterday to today, I made a change, and that was to increase the snowfall amounts across Long Island and Connecticut. I think basically in the city, it's still a 4 to 8 inch storm for most of the 5 boroughs. I think if you're in Staten Island or if you're in the Bronx, up in the North Bronx, maybe you're on the 4 end of the range of the spectrum, and then into Queens, maybe you're on the 7 inch range of the spectrum. So there it is. I think out in Suffolk County, they get the worst of it. I think most of Suffolk County will be in shutdown mode by tomorrow because of the fact that you're just going to have blizzard conditions. I think they have the best chance for a foot or more of snow, and it is going to be a fast-moving winter storm with near blizzard conditions along the coast. And I think it's a good compromise between all the forecasts that are going out there at this time. So here's your weather underground. Severe cold settles in for Friday, Saturday, and much of Sunday, and then we start our January thaw. We have one cold day next week, but basically we're at or above normal starting on Monday, and that is a good sign. We really need the break. We've been in this Arctic malaise for a while, but the snow lovers are going to rejoice. Tomorrow this is going to be a very nice storm for many in terms of if you love snow. And I think in the long run, this will be remembered as one of the only times it snowed in the month of January 2018.